All right, guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to do a little bit of an update on my State Highway Patrol, North Carolina State Highway Patrol Sig Sauer P320. I've added a super cheap Feiachi. It sounds as lame as you would expect it to for a cheap light. However, I wanted to do a little testing on different lights. I'd spotted these. They were supposed to be comparable to, say, a Streamlight or something. And honestly, so far, I'm actually pretty surprised with this thing. I've heard some guys say they've had issues with them. I've put a couple mags through it with this on here, and it's actually working fine still. Very bright. You got just an on-off to lock on, and then you've got a momentary on-off. No strobe feature or anything, so it's not quite as feature-laden as the Streamlight or something like that. I have put more rounds through this thing. Again, zero issues so far. Shoots great. I really like shooting the 357 Sig rounds. These are just not cheap at all. That's the one real drawback on the 357 Sig rounds, is they are one of the most expensive pistol rounds in general that I've owned. Maybe barring 357 Magnum or something like that. So I like the pistols, but the ammo is pricey. So, you know, I've looked at buying a 40 Smith & Wesson chambered barrel. These mags are actually marked for both 40 and 357. So I can run both in there, or either in there. Not both at the same time, obviously, but I can run either through these mags, which is great. Because if you watched my earlier video on these before, I think before I'd shot it at all, I picked up 2 of these North Carolina Highway Patrol pistols in consecutive serial numbers because one of the retailers had them with consecutive serials, and they looked like they were brand new, and I can't tell that they were ever used. I think they were non-issued. So anyway, got really nice pistols. And I got a pair of consecutive serial numbers, which I've never done that before. So anyway, but I just want to do an update on this thing after putting some rounds through it. I do really like it. I had no issues so far. I put a few more mags through it. I'd put a few mags through it a few weeks back. So I've probably got, I don't know, somewhere around 100 rounds through it all so far. But I do really like shooting it, and I will reluctantly be spending 357 Sig prices for more rounds so I can shoot this more, because I really do want to shoot it. But I didn't buy but a couple boxes when I bought these things, and because a lot of people didn't have it. Like my normal local gun shop didn't even have any 357 Sig rounds. Actually, I take it back. He had 2 boxes of Winchester defense rounds, and I bought both of them. The only reason he had them was because he accidentally ended up with those instead of 357 Magnum rounds. So he just wasn't being careful when he ordered. He was ordering other stuff, I'm sure, at the same time, and tossed those into the order, and lo and behold, wasn't what he thought he was getting. So he happened to have those sitting there when I came in to buy these, or to pick these up from having them shipped in. He was like, I do have rounds. He said, I've got 2 boxes over here. And so I bought his 2 boxes, and then I went by another one of my buddy's shops, and he happened to have 2 boxes sitting there, so I bought like 2 boxes from him. One of which is hollow points, and the others were just standard flat-nosed rounds. So I've been shooting the cheaper box of the 2, because I think one of the boxes was absurd. I'm not even going to say the price, what I paid for the box of rounds, because it was absurdly expensive. I didn't know how much it was when I told him I would take it, and then I was embarrassed and did not want to say, oh no, never mind, that's too much. So I went ahead and bought it. I don't think I would pay that much for another box of them. Anyhow, really solid pistol. This one, of course, has the North Carolina State Highway Patrol engraving on the top, which is really nice touch. But really cool pistols. I really like the 320s. I've been looking at other grip modules, because they're not that expensive unless you start going into the newer, more tactical grip modules are obviously a bit more expensive. I think they were selling X5s, grip modules and stuff like that now, and they're more expensive. But in general, the grip modules are fairly affordable. Of course, these have the firing what's it called, FCU, fire control unit, and that's your serialized portion, which is your basically just a section right here that is your fire control group with your trigger and your functional lower bits all in one piece that just pops out, and you can swap it into another chassis, or you can swap slides and swap calibers and all that stuff really easily, which is cool. That's what I like about these, is the modularity of them. You've also got that, you can do that with the P250s, but they are not interchangeable as far as your fire control group and stuff, obviously, because this is striker fired and those are hammer fired. But I do think the grip modules interchange, which is cool. But your slides, of course, you're going to have a different setup with your slide. So nice that you can still get grip modules now for the 250s, even though they've been out of production for a little while, because you can still use your P320 grip modules on the 250s. So that's pretty cool. That's a nice feature. So anyway, I just wanted to do a brief update video on this. I'm loving it so far. Glad I bought it. Still not sure I should have bought two, but I did, and it is what it is. I don't want to get rid of one of them because I like the pair. Never had a matched pair of anything. And actually, I may set the other one up. I still haven't done it yet, but I may set the other one up for left-handed, because you can use you can swap the magazine release over, and you've already got your slide releases on both sides. So the only thing that's not ambi is your takedown, and that's not generally ambi anyway. So yeah, really cool pistol. Like I said, I might set one up as a lefty so I could dual wield shoot at a target like an idiot, or like John Wick. So yeah, a little movie fun. Anyhow, love these things. Very cool pistols. It hasn't gone off on me for no reason. Haha, Sig P320 joke. To be fair, at this point, if you've got anyone that's not one of the first early production ones, they did some changes to where you're not supposed to have the drop problem anymore, where it could possibly go off if you dropped it at just the right angle and, you know, all the stars aligned. To be fair, I think some of the stories where I dropped my gun and it went off was actually honestly a police officer who probably snagged something on their trigger while holstering the pistol. And, you know, you don't really want to get in trouble or get laughed at with the guys for a negligent discharge, I'm sure, at work. And so I believe some of the, I dropped it and it went off, probably came from just handling the firearm and something getting in the way of the trigger guard when you're generally holstering the gun. That's usually when something like that would happen. So anyway, these have been really good for me so far. And I've been thinking about picking up other grip modules, maybe getting a compact